Today, rain is an inconvenience. We complain about traffic, shake off our umbrellas, and step back inside. We experience weather through layers of separation. Walls, roofs, and insulation disconnect us entirely from the natural elements outside. For most of human history, those layers did not exist. People lived completely exposed to nature. When dark clouds gathered, there was no app to check. There was only the sky. Long before the first drops fell, the environment provided warnings. The first was often the smell of wet earth carried on the breeze. We still recognize it instantly today. Scientists call it petrichor. Following that scent came subtle environmental shifts. The wind would change direction, the air temperature would drop. Animals would begin behaving differently, seeking cover in the brush. Ancient humans had to treat these atmospheric signs as urgent survival alerts, preparing immediately for whatever was about to hit them. Then the storm arrived. Without a building to retreat into, humans experienced the sensory overload of wind and heavy water directly against their skin. The primary danger of rain is rapid heat depletion. A wet body loses heat fast. Staying dry meant staying alive. Halting that heat loss required action. Finding a cave or dense tree cover became the line between survival and illness. The cold was only the first threat. Calm rivers swelled into violent flash floods without warning, and the terrain turned to slick, treacherous mud that made movement difficult and dangerous. Above this chaos was the terror of the sky itself. Imagine the explosive sound of thunder and the blinding flash of lightning, without any scientific understanding of electricity or atmospheric pressure. Storms were massive, unpredictable events. They commanded total respect, combining severe physical hazards with signs that, to the ancient mind, appeared supernatural. During these downpours, a prehistoric camp faced one absolute worst-case scenario: the extinguishing of their fire. Without fire, the camp lost warmth and light. They also lost their primary protection from nocturnal predators that could now approach unseen in the dark. Restarting a fire from wet materials was nearly impossible. Preserving it became a sacred duty. People shielded glowing embers inside primitive containers, ensuring a spark survived the rain. Prehistoric groups relied on constant signals from the world. They watched for low-flying birds, noted vanishing insects, and felt the specific humidity shift preceding a downpour. By identifying these markers, a tribe could secure shelter and protect embers before the first drop fell. Survival depended on this deep, continuous observation of nature, learning to act on the patterns of the environment before the clouds closed in. When the rain forced people into shelters, hunting and movement came to a halt. The storm created a forced pause in nomadic life. Inside the shelter, activity shifted. With nowhere to go, elders taught the young, hunters repaired their tools, and people shared stories. These hours spent waiting together, shielded from the cold, provided rare moments where the primary focus was simply interaction. The firelight created a small human world while the storm raged outside. When the clouds eventually cleared, they left behind a different landscape. The rain nourished the plants, and the soft mud now held the weight of passing animals, leaving a clear map of fresh tracks. What began as a dangerous event yielded to a life-giving cycle. Ancient humans feared the storm, but they relied on it to sustain the ecosystems they called home. This is likely why we still feel a sense of comfort while listening to a rainstorm today. It is an old reflex, a memory of the relief our ancestors felt